He is the greatest of all time. Not too many seats. Great to have you with us for this all-action affair. We expect big things, and I don't think we're going to be disappointed. The straight right just misses. A perfect counter shot. They're both trying for a knockout. Straight right just misses. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. This counter fighter believes in the anything you can do, I can do better. They'll let you throw a punch first, and they'll answer you and usually hit you harder.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be on this. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
Can't throw out a lazy jab in this fight. You're going to get knocked out. Nice idea with the jab, but does not land. Nice exchange here from both men. Back and forth they go in this round. The momentum continues to shift.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you. And so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
A typical outside fighter, as you know, focuses on defense. Stick and move, stick and move.
These are my kind of fighters, boxing on the edge of the ring, using the jab, using the footwork, moving left to right. It's like a bull in a matador.
There's a scoring blow. The straight right just misses. He just misses with that jab. The straight right just misses. Nice counter. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. What would you tell this guy? He's got to do something different.
Every second, every minute of this fight is important. Come on.
Here we go for round two. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
He threw a punch and just got countered. The positives and negatives in the heavyweight division are the same. You can win the fight with one punch, and you can lose the fight in one punch. Jab misses. Nice counter punch right up the middle. They exchange punches. Good counter punch. Not a lot of defense here at all. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. They hit like heavyweights, but they move like middleweights. Truly elite level stuff here.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
much for boxing. This is a fist fight. Beautiful counter punch. The straight right just misses. Incredible firepower from both of these heavyweights. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's so hard to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
They're giving us a high-tempo show. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. That bell could not have come soon enough for this guy.
You know what? I've been in fights like that. When you think you come on back.
And there's the bell to start round 3. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
And he scores with the counter. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. This fighter is not interested in throwing one shot at a time. They throw combinations and they throw them non-stop.
What you've got to do, Tony, is anticipation. You've got to wait. You just got to throw caution to the wind and just hope. You're never going to know where the shots are coming from. You just got to put in the guess.
Who's willing to go where the other fighter won't? We wanted action, and they are delivering. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tail. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
And this is incredible action from both of these heavyweights. These two were made for each other. The straight right just misses. So much firepower here. The greatest has been dazed. Muhammad Ali in trouble. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Seemed like eternity for them finally comes to a close.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
And he's going to be confident. You've got to take that confidence away.
Great round now. Relax.
Here we go to the 4th round. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
The had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Cue up the replay machine. I have got to see that again.
I need to see that again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Well, they're back up now, but they've got to be cautious. Cannot afford to trade back now, can they, Johnny?
He's up, but for how long? Look at that. On the heels. Look at, there's nothing there. There's no defense. The eyes are glazed. It just takes one more clear shot. A clean one. Then he's out of there.
These are heavyweights, but I tell you what, that hand speed and footwork, they look like middleweights.
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
Need to pick things up here in the second half of the round.
Not the best start, Bob. You know what? The cornermen now, it's down to them doing their job. But get through the round, regroup, like freshen up, boom. Different tactics.
Cannot throw out a lazy jab in this fight. You'll get knocked out. Oh, Joe Louis just got caught. A true champion knows how to get out of trouble after they got into trouble, and it appears the onslaught is over, at least for now.
Defense, defense, defense is everything because they got shot once, they know they can get caught again. So for now, just defense, work on defense, blocking and stopping and shooting.
Nice counter shot. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. It looks like he's going to survive the round here, but just barely. Let's talk about Ali in that last round. Well, this is a very important break here for this fighter. They've been knocked down twice. The corner might be thinking about stopping it here.
There's always a way back, though, never around it.
That's it.
Here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? Gotta be feeling confident heading into this round after knocking their opponent down twice.
2 knockdowns in that last round. There'll be sheer panic in that corner. What do? Do they throw the towel in? Do they let him come back out again? Because they know their fighter is like a lamb to the slaughter.
When someone punches that hard, you don't want to trade shots. We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
You'd like to see more jabs. Both men step back for just a moment. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
Todd, look back in history. Sugar Ray Leonard against Roberto Duran. The first fight, Sugar Ray Leonard tried to fight, stand there toe-to-toe with him. The second fight, he thought, this guy's aggressive. He's nasty. He'll do everything to get the win. I've got to box him. I've got to frustrate him. I've got to humiliate him and show him how good a boxer I am. That's the only way you beat an aggressive fighter. Show your boxing skills. Step out the way. Don't fight fire with fire. Use brain over brawn.
Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you. And so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Missing with the left hook. You don't want to go tit for tat in there in this fight. Have to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. The straight right just misses. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. That was almost a 10-8 round. Complete dominance.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep this same
Reset.
On to the 6th round. That round was complete domination. Let's see if we can shake things up here in this round.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to think him. You've just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little faggot and pickpocket him.
There's a counter shot. And this is a you hit me hard, I'll hit you hard type of fight. So he's going to shake off the cobwebs and bounce around the ring a little bit here. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. This is the heavyweight division. One punch could end this fight.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those pointed areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim them, go for speed.
Good fight so far. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? She'd like to see more jabs. Throws a jab but does not score. This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
I've never seen a fighter so fast in my life. How do you deal with this? You've got to hope they run out of steam.
Good counter punching. Can't find a home for that jab. One of the all-time greats, Joe Louis, is down. You could see it in their eyes. They saw that punch coming, and there was nothing they could do.
You're right, Todd. What a shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give me your blood.
So it's plan B time after being knocked down in that round.
I love the response, though. Got back up.
Round 7, here we go. His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
Todd, listen to me. If I knock somebody down like that round, you know this round coming out? He's getting everything, full barrel, because I know his legs are gone. So this, you watch what's going to happen. If he doesn't, I'll be very, very surprised.
Got out of the way of that right hook. Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you're there and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
The straight right just misses. Game of joust. They both got their swords. They're slinging it. We wanted action, and they are giving us action. I think that will look even more dramatic in slow motion.
Shot from the gods, they say. A shot from the gods.
So time to go.
Surrender. You didn't know money when the bally meant this trallies up. When I'm saying money, I'm not talking about back here. It's funny how the tables turn. You're not Ricky Hatton out. Tonight I have to let me put my body down. When you was hitting bags, I was still bagging up in mommy's house. You was in the Philly shell when I was getting batted down. Prison cell, swimming in my thoughts, trying not to drown. Shadow boxing in my pad, I hit the gym when I got out. Ooh, the dogs with me, walks with me, barks with me, go to war with me. That's war with my full city. War with me, that's war with the 6-1. Ooh, the dogs with me, walks with me, barks with me, go to war with me. That's war with my full city. War with me, that's war with the 6-1. Become your rivals, you know the hustle paid. You know you took your lemons and turn them to lemonade. I'm from money where the police are getting with. And that's a true story, that's not something you just say. Undisputed, we're the undisputed ones. We want it to be gangster, yeah, we want it to be dons. We end up in the can and I don't mean a Rubicon. I've always been a champion, I've done this on my one. I've been running up hills, I've been banging out weights. I've been beating up the heavy bag, I'm training every day. Had to fight for these mills, had to lose a couple mates. Sacrifice after sacrifice, that's the only way. Undisputed, they thought that I could do this. I said I'd be a legend, they all thought I was deluded. The pain's deep rooted, the game's diluted. These rappers aren't gangster, they're all capping in their music. In my soul I can feel it, in my soul I can feel it. There's always been a deeper meaning, I wrestle with my demons. I wrestle with my demons. The road's always been appealing, there was holes in my sneakers. There was holes in my sneakers. I had to go and get that beat and I don't know what I'm feeling. I don't know what I'm feeling. I just know that I'm in deep. Ooh, the dogs with me, walks with me, barks with me, go to war with me. That's war with my full city. War with me, that's war with the 6-1. Ooh, the dogs with me, walks with me, barks with me, go to war with me. That's war with my full city.
Well, the gentleman.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds.
All the talking. And there's the bell for round 1. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Neither one of these fighters want to see the judges' scorecards. A straight right just misses. So much pre-match drama before this showdown. Who could forget what we saw yesterday at the weigh-in? These two boxers are finally ready to get it on.
Situations like this, Todd, will either make or break a fighter, because the expectation from the fans and the people here, of the millions of people around the world, people like you and I sat here expecting everything and anything, can break a man or make a man.
Counter punch. That right jab just misses. Beautiful counter punch. Another jab scores. Time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Halfway through the round, and man, these two are going at it.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Shot. If you're a counter puncher, then basically you do the counter attack. You let them get their punch off first, and then you answer in kind.
If you're fighting a counter puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching you every move, that every twitch.
Jab does not score. Perfect counter shot. Unlucky to miss with that jab. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something special. This fighter needs to... Well, we've just taken a big breath, and here we go again. After that last round, something has got to change.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Jab in this fight, you'll get knocked out. Nice counter. This fighter focuses on that outside game. You don't see them get hit too often. You don't see them in trouble a lot, but that's what their mantra is.
This is what makes outside fighters so good. Their footwork is second to none. It's as fast as their hands.
When someone punches that hard, you don't want to trade shots. Caution being thrown to the wind. He's got to figure out a way to neutralize that link.
This is poetry in motion. If you've got a great jab, if you've got a long reach, I know, that was me. I'm admiring what I'm seeing here.
Pretty close fight here in this round.
skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Big swing and a miss with the hook. They call it the Glory Division. There's nothing quite like a heavyweight fight. It doesn't take much to win it. Punch output. Thought there might be more action here. They exchange punches. Straight right just misses. Oh, and Patterson's dazed. That was the moment.
Defense, defense, defense is everything because they got shot once. They know they can get caught.
Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. The game plan does not seem to be working here. What's he have to do differently?
Wow, it's like two different leagues.
There's the bell to start round 3. That corner has got to find a way to get some momentum behind their fighter.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Misses with the straight left. They hit like heavyweights, but they move like middleweights. Truly elite level stuff here.
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
Like to see more jabs. Throwing the hook, but it doesn't score. You'd like to see someone use a jab here to establish a boxing presence, but no, they just want to fight. Real good back and forth between these two fighters.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Both men step back for just a moment. And this is incredible action from both of these heavyweights. There's a counter shot. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout. There's the bell to start round 4. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet, not until your senses have come back.
Talk about punches and bunches. That's the mantra for this fighter with that exceptional hand speed.
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's where the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
They won't give us a second to catch our breath. Catch and shoot. And he scores with the counter. They both want the knockout. How about that time counter shot? These are heavyweights, but I tell you what, that hand speed and footwork, they look like middleweights.
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
To be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. He just misses with that jab. And they are delivering. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. You can tell he's stronger, but he's not faster. It's like a game of joust. They both got their swords. They're slinging it. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage here.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight, because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute uproar.
That jab is slick. John, and get your boxing back together. You're switching off.
Time for the 5th round. They've got all the momentum on their side after that last round. Let's see what they do here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
That counter shot lands. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny? And the big cat goes down. I think that will look even more dramatic in slow motion.
Even I've got to see that again. Where did that come from?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say hum to me.
Well, they're back up now, but they've got to be cautious. Cannot afford to trade back now, can they, Johnny?
Got to waste time. Get step behind the referee. When he comes close, tie him up. The referee's then got to call you. Walk around the ring. You've just got to make the most of it. Because if you let him jump back on you again, he's going to get momentum and pull you down again. And that's a lot of points to lose in the round.
Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. No rest for the weary. He's got the advantage halfway through the round.
Perfect game plan. The thing is, can anybody figure out what to do to change this? It's a perfect start.
So far, it seems like aggression has been the key. This fighter just not slowing down.
This is about ego. Get your ego in check, Todd, because if you fight a man that is used to doing this, he's confident and comfortable doing this, why are you giving him that chance to dance that dance? Step out of the way, box him. Frustrate him, because if you let him get away with it, he blows you down.
That big hook doesn't land. Swing and a miss with the jab. Beautiful counter shot. Punch, counter punch. What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Final 10 seconds here, unless something major happens. I think we all know who won that one. Talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. What a huge momentum swing that's going to be, considering that round will be. There's the bell to start round 6. They really got banged up last round. What can they do here to change the momentum?
What a heavy knockdown. How are they going to come back from that? They staggered back to the corner. They've got to freshen them up, alert them again, get them back on point again. This round, they've got to coast around. Don't get involved. Give yourself another 3 minutes to get your head clear.
When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
The jab doesn't quite connect. The straight right just misses. Timing beats speed. Speed beats power. You hear that old phrase, second win. You've got to find it somehow.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym. You can do it in a fight. They've got to relax.
We're at the halfway point of this round, and both of these fighters have had their moments. Still could go either way.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Those counter punches have to hurt. Couldn't land that jab. Nice idea with the jab, but does not land. A perfect counter lands. You'd like to see more jabs. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Missing with the hook. Good counter punching. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. How much cardio was put in for this fight? It may come down to that.
There's a lot on the line here.
Get your mind back on the job. Great round.
Round Round 7, here we go. Was 1 minute enough time for them to recover after what we saw last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout?
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing up and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
When are we going to see a jab from these two? Nice counter shot. Looking to land the hook. We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
This has been a very competitive round as we reach the midway point.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. Is he going to punch himself out, though? You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. One punch could end this fight for either of these two heavyweights.
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
I want to think of holding on here for a minute. That counter punch caught him clean. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Oh, that got Patterson off kilter. Let's talk about Alexander Usyk in that last round. You've heard the old phrase, this might come down to who wants it more, but there's the bell to start round 8. Affected Floyd there. I don't believe what we're seeing here.
Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back, steady yourself, recompose yourself, then boom, back into it. But do not make those mistakes. This is the wrong place to fall asleep.
That hook won't score. How much confidence do you build when your opponents hit you with their best shot and you walk right through it?
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's all right to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
Holding nothing back here in the round. He threw a punch and just got countered. Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. Well done with that counter shot. Nice counter punch. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
Nice job by him to block that jab. That hook just can't find the target. Punch, counter punch. Incredible firepower from both of these heavyweights. Nice counter shot. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Well, it's go back